It's Alexa from SNEED Coding Solutions. Today we're at the Houston Food Bank. We're going to be talking to Kevin Hall, who happens to be the Warehouse Operations Manager, about how our SNEED-JET Freedom handhelds have helped improve warehouse efficiency. So check it out.
A little bit to know about the Houston Food Bank. It serves 18 counties in Southeast Texas. It distributes over 150 million meals annually. It has a facility of 308,000 square feet with a 10,000 square foot kitchen, and it partners with over 1,600 community organizations.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Sneedcast. I'm your host Alexa. Today we're here with Kevin Hall, who happens to be the Warehouse Operations Manager here at the Houston Food Bank. And we're going to be talking about how technology aids in the pursuit of hunger relief efforts. So hello Kevin, thank you so much for giving us the time of day today. So just jumping into it, how is it that you got your start when it comes to the food bank? Because it's not necessarily just here in the Houston Food Bank. You said that you had already had prior experience, correct?
So my start in food banking began in West Virginia. I am from a small town in West Virginia. There at the Mountaineer Food Bank, I started out with the senior box program. I moved up from there to be a director of one of our other facilities outside of Charleston, West Virginia. My start in food banking just came on a whim. It was something that I was always interested in. The need for the need for people to have places to receive food, and the food security levels in West Virginia are lower than the national average. So it helped me to be a part of things in the community, give back, and those type of things. So that's where I started.
And then was there like someone that specifically got you into it? Like was there someone that introduced you to it?
Yeah, so I was actually working at a restaurant. It was right before COVID. I was working at a restaurant as a side job, and there was a gentleman there who was he was the vice president of the food bank in West Virginia. And he had offered me a position, and that's how I actually got picked up and moved into food banking. I've been in working for universities and management for a long time, but it was a good opportunity to step into to work with the senior program. I've always enjoyed working with the senior population, so it was a good move for me at that time.
Right. And then how is it that you went from West Virginia to now being here in Texas and here in Houston?
So on a whim, I saw a position open here in Houston. I had never lived anywhere other than West Virginia. West Virginia is a very rural state. So I applied for the position of warehouse manager here, and within a week I was offered the position, and within a month I was here in Houston.
Wow.
It was my first time living outside of West Virginia. I lived in DC for a little while, but it was my first time living outside of West Virginia. The population of the city of Houston is almost twice the population of the whole state of West Virginia. So coming from a very rural environment to a very urban environment was a unique but great move for me.
Right. And then, I mean, since you've had experience now since 2018, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges you've faced?
Some of the biggest challenges that I've faced is the changes in the way food banking is done. Here at Houston Food Bank, we are the innovators of food banking. We believe we like to do things efficiently and effectively. So getting used to some of those things, where I was in West Virginia, we were still using basic things like Excel sheets and paper to do our inventory and different things like that. Here, becoming more computerized, getting more into electronics and the way food banking is done in a modern way. It was a little bit of a challenge, but it was very, very important to me to jump right in with both feet and learn as much as I can. So in Houston Food Bank gave me that opportunity.
Okay, and when you talk about how like here in the Houston Food Bank, you guys are the innovators, what would you say like really backs that up? Like what is it that's so different here? What is it that you guys are really driving?
So I think we're on the cutting edge of getting out food to our neighbors in unique ways. We traditionally, food banking was done in small facilities, small churches, community organizations, but we've spread that out to doing some home delivery. We have our locker project program where we place food in lockers. We have different things that we do here at Houston that is unique to food banking. And then other food banks across the country like to come and see us, pick up some of the great ideas that we have here. A lot of great minds, a lot of great thinkers here at Houston.
And then out of curiosity, from what you've learned here, do you by chance still keep in contact with anyone back in West Virginia? Like, do you still help them out to an extent?
I do.
Okay.
I still talk every once in a while to some of the folks that I worked with in West Virginia. Very beautiful people there,
Right.
Very supportive. Actually, my CEO there and the CEO here at the Houston Food Bank, Brian Green, they know each other. So it was kind of interesting that they go to conferences and I come up in the conversation. So yeah, we do keep up with them. We try to support food banks all over the country. It was unique because doing recently, one of the other food banks in West Virginia that I'm very familiar with had ordered some product that we had extra here in Houston, and it was interesting that it was sent back to West Virginia. So that was all exciting to me, just to know that there's that connection with the food banks across the country.
And then what would you say is it that keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is that hunger is always going to be around. There's always going to be people in need. The motivation is it helps me to give back to my community in a unique way. The neighborhoods here in Houston, some of the folks here in Houston, a lot of the folks that work with me in the warehouse, they come from communities where hunger is a problem, food access is a problem. So it's exciting to know that we are making a difference right in the neighborhoods that a lot of our team, a lot of the places that we come from.
Right.
So that's important to me. That's my motivation.
And then, since you are the warehouse operations manager, can you give us a little overview of what it's like working in the warehouse, or what it is that you guys do?
So in the warehouse, we are constantly receiving and pushing out food into our partner agencies. A great thing about that is that Houston Food Bank receives a lot of product. With that product, we have to have it sorted at times because we don't get, we get food that is moving on in its shelf life. So what we try to do is get the best of the product, break it down, put it in nice boxes, load it back up, and get it out to the neighbors that we serve. That's the basic. We can do up to we do about 250,000 pounds a day, sometimes 400,000. We've done as much as 1 million pounds of food, and the need is still there. So it's important to us to be efficient in what we do in the warehouse. So what I do, I think that I'm probably one of the best cheerleaders that you can have. Being in management, part of that is keeping the team motivated. So I spend my days, talking to people, getting to build relationships with people, my team, getting to know what's best for them, trying to put them in the best situations to succeed as far as their jobs. And then the paperwork that comes along with processing food in and out of a facility like this. Everything here has to move fast.
Right.
We get it, and we have to push it right out. And so I work with a great team of managers down in the operations area that help us do that every day.
Right. And then before we dive into the technology side of things, how would you say that you keep your team motivated?
So we do small things like we have a rewards program here called Bonusly, where we can share. We call it Bonusly Apples. Basically, it's a way for us to reward our team or individuals across the whole food bank with a small gift. These apples turn into cash. So what we do is we spread it around. When someone does something as small as pick up a piece of paper, they get Bonusly points. We make it a fun thing with the Bonusly program. Other ways that I motivate my team, we have team dinners, we have group meetings. I like to laugh, joke, play kid
Right.
when it's convenient for the team. So we spend a lot of time, I like to spend a lot of time on the floor with the actual team. Other things to motivate is always reminding them of our goals here at the Houston Food Bank is to have a world that does not need food banks.
Right.
And so what we do is we constantly remind our team that, hey, this work is important every day. So even when you don't feel like working, sometimes people don't, even when you don't feel like working, if you can remember the purpose and the people that we serve and the things that we do in the communities that help support children, our seniors, all groups, all walks of life, that's the biggest motivating factor, just being that constant reminder of what our purpose is in the community.
And then you mentioned that you're sometimes dealing with hundreds of thousands of pounds of food and having to process all of that. Obviously, there's the paperwork side of it. And I know that recently you guys started using our Freedom handheld printers. How would you say that that's helped you out in the warehouse?
So last year, around June, I was given the task of being the production manager over the protein room. We have a protein repack room here at the Houston Food Bank. It is a part of our warehouse operation. What we do is we take loads of donated or purchased protein, we take it into a room in bulk and we break it down into smaller packaging. And technology is really important because we recently acquired our USDA mark so that we can stamp our product with the USDA mark. And with that, dating and keeping accurate numbers and accurate information on the product, we needed quick ways to do that.
Right.
And that's where technology came in to support us.
And then what is it that you guys were doing beforehand?
So beforehand, we were sometimes reprinting labels frequently, working twice.
Right.
Because instantly things could change. We would try to get ahead when it came to our labeling on our product, and if something happened where we could not have production that day, then we would have to remove all the labels, or we would have to destroy the labels that we made.
Right.
So what happened is that when we received our SNEED handhelds, they came right on time. So we immediately, it's adjustable. It was something that we could change immediately on the spot, and that helped eliminate some of the waste that we were having with our product.
Right. So just to kind of like double check, in terms of improvement, you're talking about no more wasted labels, like you can do things on the fly, it's just quick and easy.
Absolutely.
How has your staff responded to being able to now just print on the fly?
Well, we have a huge warehouse here at the Houston Food Bank. You can't print labels always in the areas that you're working, so we would have to take time to run back to offices, put things on computers, have labels printed. The handheld made it to where we could do it right on the spot. Easy, roll across the box, and the information is there. So it cut down with the time that it took for us to redo some of the work that we needed to. It took time away from us having to walk across the facility, possibly forgetting what we got to do when we got to the other side.
Right.
We were able to just do it right on the spot. Makes things simpler and easily.
Right. And then out of curiosity, and this might be coming off as a little bit biased, but since they are so versatile, would you say that you're just sticking to like printing on like the meat products that you're talking about, or are you guys seeing them now being used like across different departments?
So we are sharing this departmentally. We're getting ready to use this feature on our produce quality program.
Right.
We're also going to look into taking this product also to our volunteer services area. I meant to fix that, but yeah. So we're looking at moving the handhelds into other areas. It's been such a success with the protein room that we are intending to use it in other areas.
Right. And then talking about using it in other areas, would you say that it's now impacting how you guys distribute the food as well, or?
Well, again, dating is really important for our USDA mark to have accurate dating. So yes, it does help. The handheld gives us the ability to make our labels as large or as small as we need them to. And depending on where the product is going, we just want to always make sure that's noticeable.
Right.
Handheld's made it so much easier to get that label accurately and quickly onto our product. Yeah.
This episode of the Sneed-CAST is brought to you by the SNEED-JET Freedom Handheld, a powerful, portable inkjet printer designed to bring efficiency, flexibility, and precision to your product coding process. With the SNEED-JET Freedom Handheld, you are no longer tied down by traditional labelers or bulky stationary printing equipment. This compact handheld printer offers wireless operation, onboard message design, and a large 5-inch touchscreen interface, all in one fully integrated, easy-to-use device. Print on a wide variety of surfaces such as metal, plastic, cardboard, glass, and even more. This tool is engineered to save time, reduce costs, and simplify your workflow. To learn more, visit sneedcoding.com and search for the SNEED-JET Freedom Handheld Printer.
Okay, Kevin, so moving a little bit away from technology, with everything that's happening in the world right now, and with policies changing all of the time, and with the funding cuts that we've heard about, when funding decreases, but obviously the demand stays the same and it continues to grow, how do you prioritize that? And then also, I know that can be a little bit discouraging for your team. So how is it that you keep them resilient? How is it that you keep them in that mindset of we can continue to do this?
So the first thing that I do in our area and operations, we prioritize our people. Right. We make sure that our team has what they need to take care of their families and their lives. And then the way we stay resilient is back to the original way I motivate, is reminding the team of how important our work is. Right. That we change lives every day. That there are kids who may never steal out of a store because we provide a resource that they may not have by giving them food. There are husbands and wives that may never get into an argument because we make sure that at least the food side of their life, that need can be met. So I remind them of little things like that can make a difference in the world that we live in. Right. It doesn't take a person to to do something miraculous to change the world. A world changes when you can support just that one family, that one kid, that one person that you can give something to that they have need of. Right. And to remind my team of that makes them more resilient. Also, to boost them as individuals. A lot of our team this is a second chance in life. A lot of our team are working towards that. And we here at the Houston Food Bank try to support them by motivating them to learn and do and give them the things that they need to be successful, not only in their job, but as individuals in their community.
Right. And you talk about how you keep your team resilient, what it is that you remind them, the changes that you guys are making in your community, the impact that you guys are having. But what is it that other community members, how would I put it? How would you bring other community members in? What would you say that we can do to help the food bank?
Well, the food bank, it always needs two things. We always need volunteers, right, and we always need resources. And everybody can be a participant in that, because at whatever level they want to support the food bank, even with donations of food or volunteering to support our neighbors or volunteering here on one of our actual sites, is super important. And then, of course, monetary resources are always helpful to make sure that we can get the food to the places that it needs to go.
Alrighty, Kevin. So you talked about how community members can donate, how they can come and volunteer. But what does it say private or publicly owned companies can do to help out here?
We always like to have groups come in to support our repacking efforts. It's something that we do a lot here. When we send out product here in Houston, product that we have been donated to us, a lot of times we want to take it and put like items together. So we want groups to come in and help support that. Also fundraisers, we still go old-fashioned food banking when it comes to doing food drives at local businesses and different things like that. All of that is very supportive to what we do.
Right. Well, thank you so much for all of the information, Kevin. If any of our viewers want to get more information on the Houston Food Bank, where can they go, or what resources do you recommend?
So I recommend going to the Houston Food Bank website. There are a lot of wonderful areas that you can click on to see ways to give back and support what we do here at the Houston Food Bank. I would start there.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We can't thank you enough for all of the time that you've given us and all of the great information.
Thank you. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate that handheld. It's amazing for us.
We're glad to hear it.